On the In Session Real Estate TV show, we're talking real estate. How to buy a home with little to no money down, 7 things you must know before you list your home for sale, and how to avoid probate, and more. Tune in.
Kenny Session has over 25 years in the real estate business in the Bay Area. Kenny is the past president of the California Association of Real Estate Brokers and the past president of Associated Real Property Brokers. And now, your host, your real estate broker, Kenny Session.
Good morning, and welcome to another edition of the In Session Real Estate TV show. We really appreciate you taking some time out of your morning to watch our show. I am Kenny Session, the broker and CEO of Session Real Estate. I've been in business since 1987, and this show has been in production since 1997. We're happy to be here now on Coffee TV, where we will be able to share pertinent information with you on a weekly basis. This is not an infomercial. This is a real estate TV show. Hello, folks. I'm here today with one of my dear friends, one of my oldest friends in the world. In fact, we were in first grade together. But I've got Miss Doris Smith-Wells on set with me today. Again, if we look like we're having a lot of fun, we are. Doris is a senior underwriter with several banks. She started in the mortgage business in 1981 and she's been with various large mortgage companies over the past 30 years. I've known her for, I'm not going to tell you how long I've known her, but I've known her probably all of our lives, if not. But we are so blessed today to have her here on set with us just to give us some basic information about FHA loans. Doris is a DE underwriter for FHA Underwriter, which is a direct endorsed FHA underwriter. She also underwrites VA loans for the Veterans Administration, as well as conventional loans. She also is a what they call SARS, a Senior Appraiser Reviewer. Yes. So she has a vast amount of knowledge about underwriting loans and what it takes to get a loan. And we're going to cover a lot of information today so that you can become educated as well. Doris, again, thank you for coming, my sister, in. It is always a pleasure to have you here with us.
And you know, Kenny, it's always a pleasure to be here with you because just as I am, I know that you care about the people. Yes, ma'am. And that your main goal and focus is to educate them so that they won't get stooped and get stuck due to ignorance. Right. You know, when you don't know, lack of knowledge is, very important when you go to get a mortgage loan.
Well, the Bible says that we're destroyed for a lack of knowledge. So that's what our show is really about, is to provide information and knowledge so we can make intelligent decisions about what's available to us. Doris, is anything else you want to add about your intro right here that I maybe didn't cover? Because I know a lot of things about you, but what would be the most important thing that you want our community to know about you?
Well, I guess in essence, in short, I would just say that I'm passionate about my job and I'm passionate about helping people so that they can better themselves and their lives. That is in essence, in a nutshell, in all my 34 years of experience, that is my walk, is to make sure that people are knowledgeable and that if I can help them get into a home, that we do that.
Right. And that's what we're going to do today. We're being very modest. This is a legend in the business, in the underwriting FHA business. I mean, I've heard stories over the years from not you, but other people on loans that she's been able to do to help families get into homes that probably were denied by other folks.
True. I see that a lot. But see, sometimes the thing is that people, you gotta have a relationship with whom you do your real estate business with. And I'm not just saying that. I'm saying that to educate you because it's so important, because that segues into one of the topics that we were going to talk about, which was credit. Sometimes when you don't have a relationship with people, you tend to not really be real, or you tend to not want to tell them everything. Because my position with people and the success stories that you've heard about really has been I listen to them. You tell me what the issue is. Because if you tell me something and then I, as an underwriter, condition for something and you can't provide it, guess what? You have a dead deal. Mm-hmm. So all of these years, I've been able to do what I do because it's important for me to ask that $1 million question. Mm-hmm. Ask. Mm-hmm. You know, sometimes when I do reach out to borrowers and I speak to them on the phone, a lot of times the number one thing that they say to me is nobody never asked. Mm. And when I say that, it could be about credit. It could be about income. It could be about assets. So now we're going to back up. We're going to go back to some of these issues that I just talked about, the credit, the income, and the assets.
Well, you know, and that is very important because as a real estate broker, I see people all the time that don't want to tell you what's going on. They think that, you know, if I tell you too much, it's going to hurt me. But what's really true, like you said, the more you tell me, the more I can line you up with what you need to where you need to be. But one of the things I'm sure you see a lot is when someone tells you something and then you go to verifying information and it's not what they said it was going to be either.
And that's where the problem always is. That's where the problem always lies. It's just like you can't tell people enough that validation is the key. The mortgage industry has moved into the times with everyone else. Everything is automated. Everything can be validated. There is nothing in a loan file that cannot be validated. They can verify your age, your DOB, your social security number. They know if you've ever been married before. And now let's take that another step further, just so that I can really bring it true to fruition to some of you out there with you guys understanding what we as a lender really are privy to. We know how many people, we know who you're related to in the transaction. We know if you are a cousin to the gift donor. We know if you are employed by a family member. We know if you've been to jail. We know this because all of this stuff comes up on a legal search called LexisNexis, which the majority of lenders are doing. So with that being said, even when you don't tell us, there's things that we know.
Right.
Because we validate what we inspect. My favorite line is we inspect what we expect.
Wow, and that's deep. You know, we've got so much to cover today, but you just said something I just gotta have you expound on right now, and that's LexisNexis that you talked about. Won't we just, because that's a lot of our problem right here. I mean, we can go through the rest of this stuff, but they need to get a better idea of how that works, if you can even explain it to them and, you know, just expound a little bit deeper on it.
Okay, I'm going to try to limit it and make it as brief and easy, simple as possible. LexisNexis is just a tool. It's a tool. It's a tool that we pop in your name. We don't even have to, we can either pop your name in. It could be done just under your social security number, or it could be done just under your DOB. Yes, there's going to be a lot of raw data when we don't have all of that. But what LexisNexis does is a tool that allows us to pop in those three things that I basically just said, name, social security number, date of birth. And really DOB is not really necessary, but only for those common names is when it's really pertinent. And it allows us to see from, if it's a purchase transaction, for you yourself, if you're related to somebody on the transaction and you wrote it all up and escrow is open and you know you got them in loan, you got them with a lender, but they haven't gotten to the underwriter yet, that loan, if you guys did not disclose that in the contract, non-disclosure, see, and in this case, if it was denied, it would be denied not because you're related to somebody, but because of non-disclosure.
Yeah. Well, you know, Doris, we've got a lot to talk about today. When that LexisNexis, that just blew me away because that wasn't, we didn't talk about this the last time we done this. This is brand new, folks. But let's take a quick little break and we're going to come back and we're going to get into some other topics that I believe are very, very important in our community. We'll be right back. You're watching the In Session Real Estate TV show. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Do you need income protection? Call Don Hills, Independent Insurance Broker.
Hello, I'm Dawn Hills with DMH Insurance, and I'm an independent insurance broker. Income protection helps families when you're injured and can't work. Life insurance is legacy planning and can also protect your mortgage. Call me, Dawn Hills, for a free consultation to protect you and your family. Dawn Hills Insurance for your every need.
So good to see you guys.
So, what's up? Oh, we finally bought a place. Holy cow.
You seriously have enough saved to do that?
We've been putting a little aside each month.
Jeez, at the end of the month, we have nothing left to save.
Yeah, I have no idea where it goes.
Well, you're spending a lot on...
Was it good?
Oh, God.
Oh, how is my account overdrawn?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind. Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
Here at Infinity Investments, it's our mission to build a portfolio of investment property communities and a large network of investors, buyers, sellers, and tenants whom we serve by operating with character, integrity, and a commitment to excellence. And as our gift to you, we'd like to invite you out to one of our free monthly seminars where you'll learn the fundamentals of how to buy, own, and operate multifamily properties. Look forward to seeing you soon.
Well, Doris, let's get right into this because we don't have a whole lot of time. Let's talk about credit. Won't you just give me an idea of what it is when you're looking at credit reports and that kind of stuff? Just what do they need to know about credit?
Okay.
I don't even have the right question to ask. All I know is that you know what they need to know about credit.
Okay, now credit, that's a real sensitive thing because a lot of times people don't really even understand their own credit. Nowadays, there are some lenders out there still doing non-traditional credit. And what is non-traditional credit? Non-traditional credit is when a person doesn't have any established accounts on their credit report. They've never had a Walmart, a Macy's, a Sears, so if you were to run their credit, nothing would come on it. So on a borrower that has nothing, and a lot of people have nothing on their credit, it will be blank. And with that being the case, you may have somebody say, well, let's do non-traditional credit. And what non-traditional credit is are lines of credit like verification of rent. If you have had auto insurance and you pay monthly, it's anything that can be rated on a monthly basis or quarterly at worst. That qualifies or justifies non-traditional. However, the company I'm with and a lot of other lenders out there, we frayed away from the non-traditional. However, going back to a person with credit and may have had some credit issues. Right now, the magic number really is about 580 for a FICO score. 580, you can pretty much do something. You can even get a conventional loan with a 580. However, with that 580 on a conventional, you're really relying on the onus of the automated underwriting system. So with that being the case, a person going for a conventional loan with a credit score of 580, they would probably need to have a lot of assets to get an approved eligible. Because otherwise, you have an automated underwriting system who's just really validating, or they're not validating anything first and foremost, because an AUS decision will give you only what you put in it. Somebody has to input that information. So let me back that up. So let's say that you have a client who has a 580 FICO score, and you submit it to ABC Lender, and they give you an AUS approval. Okay?
And that's automatic underwriting system approval.
Correct. However, by the time it hits the underwriter's desk, let's say that automated underwriting approval was done with the borrower having $30,000 in funds. But yet when I get the loan, he only has 10. Now when I run it through the automated underwriting, it says refer ineligible. And that's the hardest thing for a person to understand. Well, why did this other company approve me where I was just approved down the way? What numbers were they using? What was put in? And a lot of times that has a lot to do with, I do a lot of loans behind lenders that have turned loans down. And sometimes you have to be diligent. And again, going back to listening and talking to the borrower or client, sometimes maybe they were off work for a particular reason and that's why their income is low, or maybe they're in line to get a raise and the other company didn't ask that question. because maybe that raise was only $5, but $5 made a difference.
Yeah. You know, I've heard you talk about these stories for over and over and over. I've even been at your house when you were underwriting files, and I looked at the file and it had a big old red X on it, and by the time they left out of your house, it was approved. So, I mean, and I know everybody ain't gonna get you, but we know, being the senior person that you are in the business, you know what you're talking about, and I've seen it. That's why it was very vital for us to get you here. And I want to thank your husband for allowing you to come over after the Raider. They've just come over after the Raider game. Floyd Smith, her husband, which is also a good friend of mine. So I want to say thank you, Floyd, for allowing her to come over and spend these few minutes with our community. You know, I needed to get that in while I could. Now, the credit issue. Now, let's talk about, is there anything else that they need to know about credit that maybe you didn't touch on right there?
Well, yeah, I think when it comes to credit, a lot of people need to understand too, especially you married people out there. You need to understand that this is California, and fortunately or unfortunately, California is a community property state. So what that means to you, what that means that if you're married and you're getting a home loan, a mortgage loan, a first trustee, and your husband's not going to be on the loan, then on a FHA and a VA loan, not on a conventional loan. This does not apply to conventional loans, only for government, FHA and VA. So if you're getting an FHA and VA loan, it is required that the credit is ran under your spouse, as your non-borrowing spouse as well. Okay, so sometimes the reason why a person's spouse isn't going on, maybe their income is up and down, you know, maybe it was credit issue, but we're not really looking at the degree of the credit that the non-borrowing spouse has. We're just making sure that we count for the debts, because you're married, and one way or the other, somebody in that house is going to have to take care of those debts. So what they do up front is we already take that into consideration. We classify that as non-borrowing debts, borrowing spouse debts.
So let me ask you this: if someone was trying to buy a house, husband and wife, the wife has good credit, good income, and the husband has bad credit, and we run the husband's credit and it's just horrible, is that going to kill the deal?
Are both of them on the loan, or?
Well, just her. She's got enough income and enough credit to carry the deal, but the husband, because we see this a lot where someone just got married or they've only been married a short time, and they bring you an application that says, I'm not married, when in fact they really are.
It's not going to kill the deal, but you do have to, the only way it'll kill the deal is if the wife's income cannot afford her debts and his.
Okay.
Okay. Now, and then another thought to that would be is sometimes what they need to do is try to run them together, because sometimes the good outweigh the bad, and you can have somebody with bad credit and run them with somebody with good, and sometimes again, AUS reads and picks up a lot of things. You know, it loves assets, so the more assets that's verified and documented, the better it is.
Okay. I think we need to go to another break real quick. We've got just so much information here. I don't know if I'm going to get through all of this, but we're going to try to give you all of this if we can. We'll be right back in a second. You're watching the In Session Real Estate TV show. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Do you need income protection? Call Don Hills, Independent Insurance Broker.
Hello, I'm Dawn Hills with DMH Insurance, and I'm an independent insurance broker. Income protection helps families when you're injured and can't work. Life insurance is legacy planning and can also protect your mortgage. Call me, Dawn Hills, for a free consultation to protect you and your family. Dawn Hills Insurance, for your every need.
This is why you took a second job. While you taught yourself how to fix the plumbing. While you'll do whatever it takes to keep your home. And that is why we want to help. We are making home affordable, a free government resource that can make paying the mortgage easier. Call 888-995-HOPE today.
Here at Infinity Investments, it's our mission to build a portfolio of investment property communities and a large network of investors, buyers, sellers, and tenants whom we serve by operating with character, integrity, and a commitment to excellence. And as our gift to you, we'd like to invite you out to one of our free monthly seminars where you'll learn the fundamentals of how to buy, own, and operate multifamily properties. Look forward to seeing you soon.
This lovely 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom home is located at 3920 Edwards Avenue in Oakland, California. It has totally remodeled bathrooms, a large updated kitchen with stainless steel appliances, glistening hardwood floors, and a huge backyard. It is listed at $460,000. This 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom great starter home is located at 111 Pacific Court in Vallejo, California. It features a 2-car garage and is listed at $245,000. This 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom great starter home is located at 310 Marina Way in Richmond, California. This home is a quick walk to Richmond BART Station and is listed at $229,000. This charming 3-bedroom, 1-bathroom corner lot is located at 2751 Fruitvale Avenue in Oakland. It features a separate unfinished unit and is listed at $497,500. This palatial 6-bedroom, 6.5-bedroom custom home located at 13383 Campers Drive in the Oakland Hills has beautiful sweeping views from bridge to bridge. Call for a private showing. It is listed at $3,500,000. This large 4-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-story home located at 1905 90th Avenue in Oakland is a corner lot and priced at a bargain at $449,950. This 3-bedroom, 1-bathroom beauty is located at 1620 Russell Street in Berkeley. It features a 1-car garage, large country kitchen, and a separate man cave. Price to sale at $875,000.
All right, we're back. You know, Doris, we're kind of run out of time, so we need to talk about something I know that's very dear to you. You told me it was, and that's this new program that just came out called FHA Back to Work Program. You want to explain to them what that program is and how it works?
Yes, and first of all, Kenny, I just want to let you know it's not new.
It's not new.
It's not a new program. It has been there. It's just that a lot of people don't understand this FHA program. This FHA Back to Work program, what this means is a lot of people, due to the economic issues and things that we've had a lot of people who've had cut in their job. Maybe they didn't completely lose their job. Look at the state and county workers. They were furloughed, where their days were cut, their hours were cut. You know, the companies shut down, where, you know, 2 home families lost the income, where there used to be 2 incomes in the house, went down to 1 income. You know, or maybe, yeah, the other party did get another job, but they're not making what they used to make. And in the midst of this, they lost their home. You know, they went into foreclosure, and they had a bankruptcy.
I want you guys to listen real close now.
What you need to understand is this FHA Back to Work program is for you, for those who have. This is your second opportunity. Now, you have to understand the guideline on this program is not for frivolous use, because if it's used frivolously, the government's going to take it away. But basically, it's for when you can prove and substantiate that you have literally had 2 years of loss of income. So let's say this is 2015. Let's say you lost income in 12 and 13, but 14 is good, you know. But you had a BK that you just, let's say you had a foreclosure a year ago. And you're just now, you know, although you got a new job and you know, starting to get back on your feet, you just didn't get that job in time enough to save your house. So what the FHA Back to Work program does is it's not that it's forgiving you, it's just understanding your situation. It's being real with you as a mortgagor for yourself. It will allow you to still apply for a home loan, even though you've had a foreclosure in the last 12 months.
12 months. That's deep, Doris. That when you told me that, I almost fell out the chair, because I've got about 3 or 4 people I know that I'm almost sure they're watching this show today that I've referred somewhere else because I thought that their foreclosure being 2 years ago was going to be enough, and they got denied. And I do believe that one of them I can think of, and I know you're watching, is a City of Oakland employee where their hours got cut and he lost his house.
Well, you know how you and I do it. I'm a people person, and I'm always here for the people, regardless if it's in Southern California or Northern California. You reach out to your client, and you have them call me, and I will help them.
Right. Well, you guys, you heard it here. She gave me authorization to send you to her, and there's a couple people that I already know that I'm going to have to be calling first thing Monday morning. And first of all, tell you I'm sorry that I didn't have this information. And secondly, put you in the hands of someone who can help you get back into home ownership. There's a lot of things going on in this community that we don't know about. That's what this show is about, folks. It's bringing you information to empower you to be able to make decisions, to put your deal with your legacy, making sure that we're leaving wealth for our children. Many of you guys, like myself, we've had homes, and many of us have lost wealth. Now it's time for us to rebuild wealth and be able to leave things for our children. All right. So do you have any closing words for us in our time here together, something that would just bless the people?
I'm going to come back, and I'm going to have some something of credence with me to leave here for you to start distributing to them to educate them. I want to come back, and I want to bring some paperwork, guidelines and stuff on this back to work program, so that you people up here in the northern Bay Area can take advantage of this program as well. It's an FHA program, so it's something that you should definitely be able to take advantage of.
Okay, folks, well, that's it for today. I wish we had more time with you today, but we don't. Folks, remember this: Jesus Christ is Lord. He loves you. I love you. I love what I do. Can't you tell? We'll see you guys next week. Come back and see us.
For advertising information on the In Session Real Estate TV show, or to buy or sell real estate, give us a call at 510-568-4200 and log on to our website at sessionrealestate.net.